Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you again for joining us today. So this is our, I believe, fourth session for our MBA and grad chat series, focusing each of our sessions on specific programs within our graduate program portfolio here in the Saunders College of Business. Again, my name is Matt Cornwall. I work as our Associate Director of Student Services, so I work with all of our incoming graduate students, prospective students. So today we have a session on our Master of Science in Finance program and Master of Science in Accounting and Analytics program. So very excited to have both of the program directors here today and department chair for these particular programs. So just a couple logistical pieces. Please feel free to ask any questions you have in the chat feature down below. Certainly happy to address those. That's why we are here. We're here to address your questions, get all that stuff, addressed and answered for you. And if anyone does need closed captioning, there is a tool down below in the toolbar here that you can turn on the captioning services as well. But without further ado, I will turn it over to Hao. Are you gonna jump in first? Okay, great.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Hao Zhang. I'm a director of finance program. Later, our department chair and accounting director, Dr. Archana Jain, will discuss something about the accounting program. Let me start with the MS in finance program. So a brief introduction. I'm a professor of finance in this department. I have been teaching both undergraduate and graduate level courses. You should be able to find my contact information on my homepage, including the email address, phone number. If you have any questions, feel free to send me the email. Okay, now let's start with a very brief introduction to our program page. So we put a lot of useful information on our program pages. We highlight unique characteristic of our program on this program page. I encourage you to take a look at the program page. In the next several slides, I will highlight several issues about our MSF program. For example, our MSF program is a STEM designated program. I noticed there are some international students in the chat, right? So for international students with F1 visas, you are qualified for extended work through this STEM designated program, through the OPT program, up to 3 years. That means you can work here for 3 years after you complete the program, okay? Now, from here, I would like to introduce our curriculum because that's a main basically that's a main part of our discussions. So this is a 1-year program. Students typically enroll in a fall semester. You go fall, spring, and summer. But we are also open to students if you are interested in enroll in spring semesters. So either way, you will be completing 10 courses plus 1 exams. These 10 courses including 1 accounting course, 3 finance required courses, 3 finance elective courses, and 3 STEM elective courses. For the last few exams, usually take place in the summer. However, you have a choice here. If you are interested in taking a capstone courses, this field exam can be waived. There's a downside though. If you use the capstone, that means you will have 5 elective. But keep in mind, 10 courses, you still have 5 elective courses, give you a lot of flexibility to choose different elective courses. In the next 2 to 3 slides, I will discuss more about the elective courses. In addition, this is an MSF program in RIT. We really highlight the technology-based or analytic-based learnings. Students in this program will get a lot of exposure to latest software package, including Python, R, Tableau, MATLAB, SAS, SQL. Almost all the finance professors are great coders, programmers. We know both the math part and the coding part. So you will get very good training here. And in addition, a lot of elective courses will help you strengthen your finance core. Now, from this slide, I want to go over some detailed courses here briefly. In terms of accounting courses, every student need to take the accounting for decision maker. We believe that all the financial analysis based on accounting data, accounting information, we need to make sure students know that. If you already have very good background in accounting, sometimes we can waive this 603, allow students to take higher level courses like cost accounting courses. Now we have 3 required finance courses. They cover most important finance segment, corporate finance field, investment field, and a very active innovative part, so-called derivative market. Students will learn option and future materials. And then we have 3 elective in finance field and 3 elective in STEM field. In the next 2 to 3 slides, I will discuss them briefly. So this slide will present the finance elective courses. We offer traditional finance courses like advanced level financial management, we call financial management 2. We also offer portfolio management and also financial modeling courses. This class is taught by Dr. Stan Hoy. He's an award-winning RIT University award-winning professor. He's teaching Excel in these courses. You really implement the financial model and analysis in Excel. Make sure you are ready for today's job, basically. Now, we also have other specialized courses like the global finance courses, risk management courses, okay? Now, in addition to that, many professors in our department, in our program, believe that finance industry has become more and more data-driven and analytic basis. So many jobs in finance industry now, doesn't matter they are from the corporate side or investment side, require candidate to have data and analytic skills. A finance student without data analytics skill is almost unemployable. That's at least my personal feeling. Okay, now, therefore, our MSF program at RIT requires students to take 3 STEM elective courses from a long list of courses that will help you prepare for today's data-driven and analytic-based courses. That means if you take this class, you are not only a finance professional, you will become very good at data analytics. Okay, depends on your elective courses. So this slide presents the STEM elective courses. You can see a lot of analytics in the course name here, right? So they including accounting part, analytics, also including analytics from the business analytics field or MIS field, including the MIS like courses like business intelligence, data management. You learn about SQL. And in addition to that, we have several finance courses really emphasize analytic skills. Let's use the first one as example, algorithm tradings. The professor teach these courses essentially using trading as a setting. We teach students how to use Python to do a lot of analysis. You will learn how to use Python to extract data, use Python to run analysis, to implement trading strategy. After taking these courses, compared to taking typical analytic courses, you not only know about how to use analytic tools, you also know about trading, right? So buy one, get one free, okay? Now, so we also have a very cool course called Financial Analytics designed by Dr. Ashok Rabin. He's a great teacher. In that class, you will learn use R to do the portfolio optimizations, typical financial analysis. So basically, we really emphasize the learning of finance in the analytics environment, okay? So now, one thing I want to highlight here is you might notice that I highlight them in red color here. As a program director, Dr. Jain and me, we will have basically we have the authority to give you permission if you want to take other SCB or RIT courses. For example, some students want to take software engineering courses or data science courses. If you find a course, if that's feasible for your study plan, if we should be able to say yes, that actually allows you to design a much more flexible study program for yourself. Keep in mind, we have 6 elective courses, right? At least 5 elective courses. In that case, you can really strengthen your knowledge in certain field by choosing your elective courses carefully and strategically. Okay, now from here, I want to highlight several cool things about our program. First one I want to highlight is the research. Okay, we have Dr. Archana Jain here. So our faculty members are very active in research. They are top researchers. We constantly doing research, make sure we know the development of the modern financial market. For example, Dr. Jain's work is about active trading in ETF, exchange traded fund. The research focus on high frequency algorithm trading, sometimes we call HFT. This paper has been published in Financial Analyst Journal. That's a top finance practitioner journal. It's read by many financial professionals. And also this article is featured in a work. It is in an article in Forbes. We know that that's a very popular business magazine. So Dr. Jain and her co-author analyzed trading activity of 578 ETF over a long time horizon, try to understand whether their trading influence mispricing. Okay, what they find is very simple. High frequency trading really reduce the size of mispricing. Why her work is so important? Because there are a lot of debate in the field. Because I have working experience at the SEC, we know that at the time, around the crisis, a lot of debate about whether HFT, they destabilize the market. Do they really increase the extraordinary volatility? So her work essentially tells us that HFT, they are good guys. They help us reduce the mispricing. They help us improve the market efficiency. That's a very important work. Now, let me highlight another colleague, Dr. Mehdi Karan. He's a great junior professor. He's doing great work in the option market field. So his article, Option Momentum, is published in top journal in finance, Journal of Finance. That's more like very top finance journal. So his idea is very interesting and also very intuitive. Some of you, if you are in finance field, you know that there's a strategy so-called momentum trading strategy. Idea is very simple. If we buy winning stock, and then if we short sell losing stock, there will be a abnormal return. Idea is very simple. Winner will continue to be winner. Okay, losing stock will continue to have bad performance over the extended period. Okay, we know this phenomenon in the stock market, in the bond market, somehow in commodity market. Nobody have tested whether we have similar phenomena in derivative market, specific option market. So Dr. Karan and his co-author test this idea, test this trading strategy in option market, find very significant results. Okay, so it has a lot of implication. So first one, of course, it shows that option market does not really efficient enough, and that's good news for trader, because that means we will have opportunity to implement certain trading strategy to earn abnormal return. That's above the market return, right? So this is very cool work. Okay, now from here, I want to highlight our alumni. Our program, MSF program, is a merged program from two older program, MSF and MS Computational Finance program. We have students from all over the world. If you take a look at this slide, you can see we have students from Nigeria, Croatia, New York cities, India, a lot of different countries, and many of them actually find good job in major finance firms, including Citibank, AIG, Goldman Sachs, and also that's a big part of the finance career, right? You go to the financial market, doing work in the banking or investment side. But on the other hand, a lot of students actually go to the corporate side, work in a corporation, work side by side with accounting professionals, right? So for example, we have students go to the paycheck. Recently, we have students get job interview, will be joining the constellation plan. So at least they are in the process now. So overall, our students have a decent placement, at least you can see from this slide here. Okay. Now, I want to highlight our facilities and our student club on this slide here. So one thing I want to say, as a professor, I'm very fortunate we have a very good students. Actually, they work together in a club, Financial Management Association club. So this club is managing a $250,000 portfolio, real portfolio. So in this club, students meet frequently to discuss buys and sells of this real portfolio. So every student can make a stop pitch. So say I want to purchase Tesla, or I want to sell a certain security in the portfolio. You can make a presentations and then use several slides to justify your rationales. And then our club member will vote. If your pitch gets through, the trade will get executed within 1 or 2 weeks. Basically, students are really a team of the managers of this portfolio. You gain real-world trading experience here. Okay. Now we also have Bloomberg terminals in our building, owing to our journalist donor and alumni. So we have access to around 12 Bloomberg terminals. As we know, Bloomberg terminals are widely used in today's financial market. So we always encourage students to use the Bloomberg terminals. We also integrate Bloomberg terminal in both the undergraduate and graduate level finance courses. So they are located in the first floor of our building. We always encourage students to get familiar with them. We learn a lot of successful story. Very often to hear some students say, Professor, hey, I'm using the Bloomberg terminal in the interview. That's a talk point. And then actually the employer, interviewer just feel that, okay, I'm ready for the job. Actually, that increase their chance to get a co-op job and full-time job. Okay. Now, lastly, I want to highlight the advisory board. So RIT has a lot of alumni. SCB also has a lot of alumni. Many of them are journalists contributing to our learning environment. One way to do that is some alumni come back to serve as our advisory board. So next slide, you can see this is the other board member. They are usually executive level or at least MD level, higher level financial professionals. So what we try to do in this department, our department chair, Dr. Jain, every semester try to pair students with one of the advisory board member. You will get one-to-one mentoring opportunities. You can reach out to them, meet with them via Zoom, get career advice, discuss some questions, review resumes. So that's a great opportunity. In addition to that, every year there is a speed networking event organized by Dr. Jain, usually in spring semester. Students will get a chance to meet several alumni. They are distinguished alumni. They come back. You can talk to them face to face, okay? You can learn from them, ask all kinds of questions. It's a great networking opportunity. They also often, the alumni also often visit the classroom and then make presentation in FMA club. For example, 2 weeks ago, we have two alumni come back. 2 alumni MD level come back from the local investment company. Next Wednesday, there will be alumni come to my class, a local company CFO, make a presentation in my class about the risk management, right? So we have very nice alumni group. They are willing to contribute to our learning environment, okay? Lastly, they also help us curriculum review. What does that mean? That means that from year to year, we hope our curriculum really meet the market needs. So we ask them to help us take a look at our curriculum. Is this up to date? Anything we need to change? Any courses we need to add? For example, from this year, we are starting to add the cryptocurrency and fintech courses that really based on the demand from the student or also input from some of the alumni. I think Dr. Archana Jain may be able to provide more information about this issue later. Okay, so this is my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, I will share my slides so that I can navigate better. Okay. So thanks, Hao. You have already given a lot of information and some of it has overlap. Sorry, just trying to max do the. Okay, there we go. Some of it has overlap with the accounting program, some similarities. So I will try to highlight them again and just go over them. So again, just to introduce myself, my name is Archana Jain. I'm the department chair for finance and accounting, as well as the program director for our accounting programs. And again, you can find my email address here and my webpage. You can find more information, and feel free to reach out to me by email if you have any questions after this presentation or anything as you move forward in your college choice. Okay. So again, similar format. So brief introduction about our program. We have a great program page for accounting and analytics as well, which highlights some of the key features. And I brought them some here. So our accounting program in Masters in Accounting Analytics still focuses enough on the solid foundation of accounting, auditing, and tax, because that's the key part. So we still incorporate all those, but then we focus on analytics side of it. So it's not like analytics is separate, but we try to incorporate the analytics part in our accounting, auditing, and tax classes. Again, as Hao mentioned, these days, big data analytics is very heavy in the industry. Entry-level jobs can be done by machines. So we want to do more of analytics side, that how to interpret the results, how to make some meaningful conclusions and decisions from the data that is given to us. So that's the part that we try to focus on in our program. We use, again, all the recent tools that you would see in the accounting world, including Excel, Tableau, R, Python, other SQL languages. So most recent technologies are incorporated into our programs in each of the classes. Similar to MSF, this is also a STEM designated program, which means it allows the F1 student for an extended OPT period of up to 3 years. So you can work in the United States after graduation for 3 years without needing any authorization or work permit from the company, or sponsorship is the right word. You won't need the company to sponsor you for at least 3 years. So curriculum-wise, this is a 30-credit program. We have 5 accounting required courses, including one of the capstone course, 1 finance course, which is required, and then 1 MGIS, again, because we want to include more analytics and data, basically data processing. So all that is incorporated in here. And then you have 3 electives that you can choose from: accounting, finance, or MGIS discipline. And just like how I mentioned earlier, as program director and department chair, we do have the flexibility of approving other electives if they fit better for your career goals, as long as they are part of the big scheme of accounting education, and they can help you in getting a job better. So we can substitute some courses with that. Elective side, not the required courses side. So again, here are the details of the 7 required courses that I mentioned. So 5 accounting courses, as you can see, each one of them have the analytics aspect in it, in the name itself. Plus, if you want to go to the program page, you can click on it and you'll see the description of the course, which will give you more details. So financial analytics, that highlighted by Hao, again, is a required course in the accounting program as well, which uses R in detail to kind of, again, process the data, make conclusions, informed decisions, and so on. And then MGIS 650 is also Introduction to Data Analytics. One I want to highlight here is the capstone experience. So this is a big part of our program. In this course, a company provides us a structured problem and with some data to analyze and kind of solve this problem. So we get the data from the company. You have a professor who's helping you throughout the process of what the question is and how do you approach and how do you answer that question. The company representative is available throughout the course to answer any questions that you might have. And at the end of the semester, you develop the solution and you make a presentation to the company on what did you think about the problem and what solution you're recommending. So this is a very hands-on experience on a real-world problem, using the knowledge that you have gained in the different courseworks, and it's still organized, still structured, not so kind of preparing you for the real world. So it's a very useful component of our program that we have in this setting. So these are all the required courses. Elective, as I already mentioned, we have accounting, MGIS, finance, or electives approved by the program director that you can take. Now, again, same thing, we focus on research a lot. Our faculty is doing cutting edge research, so they focus on the more recent, trends in the market and try to analyze them and focus on them. So instead of going into the detail of research, I want to talk about the idea of opportunity for you to work with the faculty. So as you can see that we are all doing research. So if you are inclined in that direction at all, you have the opportunity to work with the faculty in two ways. One is the GSW. So you can apply, once you're here, you can apply for the GSW opportunity. GSW is graduate student worker. So in the first week or second week of your semester, you will be given an orientation on what is the opportunity about, how to apply for that. And then we have Peggy Terrell, who does the matching of a student to the faculty. And then that work varies on, different professors use different level of help from student, but you can get into the research more. We do have summer research opportunity again. So each faculty, we support one grad student and one undergrad student every summer. And again, college is trying to increase those numbers. So you can apply for a summer sort of grant or stipend, whatever you call it, to work with the faculty on a research project. So again, you reach out to the faculty, or faculty can identify the student themselves, and then they can collectively apply. And then if approved, you get summer money, and then you work on the research project. So that's another one. And then we also have, if you were to participate in this program, we ask the students to make a presentation to the faculty. So you get a chance to experience the research world. And again, if you're thinking of going to industry, that is still relevant to you, because in a lot of the work these days, you're analyzing the data, you're researching the data, you're testing theories, and you're answering problems that can be solved in the real world using that data. So these techniques can be used in industry, as well as if you ever take a research type of job or think about PhD in the future. So it's a great experience. And we do have speakers from outside coming to the college, not only our own faculty, but internal speaker as well as external speaker come to the college frequently. And you as a grad student are invited to attend those presentations if you're interested in what kind of research the faculty is doing. So you can see here during the COVID, Dr. Ashok Robin, Ken Wu, they examined how is the information disclosure happening during the COVID time. Very sensitive, time-sensitive topic, and good implications of his research. That a key finding is the firms less committed to conservatism reporting provide a great amount of qualitative COVID disclosures in 10Q. So again, this is useful for investors, regulators, and managers who are apparently creating the 10Q reports, that it has value implications on and volatility, stock market volatility is getting impacted by that. Another one, again, if you think of it, is relevant in the sense that color of the shareholders' money. That's the sort of the key punchline here. In this research, Dr. Rong Yang finds that institutional shareholders' political polarization can influence how the company is engaged in the environmental related activities. So if you are associated with politicians who agree with the global warming and climate issues, the shareholders are leaning towards that, then you might have more investment in that. Otherwise, you may not have enough investment in those opportunities. So that's research front. Alumni success. You can see the two recent one, which is highlighted on our webpage. Linda Ocheng, she's a staff accountant at the Bonadio Group. Bonadio just merged with a bigger company. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. It's a regional accounting firm, and it is now merging with another bigger firm. So it will be even more job opportunities for our students here in Rochester. Daphne Arifi, business analytics at the robotics process automation team for the DXC technology branches in Europe. So those are some of the ones we have highlighted. But if you look at the past 5 years of data, this is some of the key job titles that our students have achieved or are working in. So senior associate and audit assurance at LGA, consultant at Grant Thornton, EY, and EFPR. So a lot of local regional accounting firm as well as national firms, and the consulting firms are looking at our students. So just like the FMA club, we have NGA, Next Generation of Accountant Club. Of course, we are not managing real money here, but we have, again, networking opportunities, expanding your experience outside the classroom and being able to see different aspects of the career. So like, for example, they bring the people from Becker Company to talk about the CPA evolution and what are the changes in the CPA exam. Then they will bring forensic accounting and the CIA, the criminal investigation agency, that how you can contribute. There are job opportunities for accountants in forensic and fraud examination. And of course, the typical accounting firms and corporate world, public and private accounting, both will come on time to time. We do organize an etiquette dinner every year because accounting world is still somewhat formal. So we prepare our students on how to prepare themselves and, have formal presentations, formal dinners and things like that. These are some of the other events we organize. So we do have an accounting advisory board similar to the finance advisory board. So same thing here, we do one-on-one mentoring. So students apply and then I match each student with one advisory board, and then you have this mentorship assignment for an entire year. And again, it's all up to you on how much advantage you take of this networking opportunity. You can ask them questions, as Hao mentioned, about what does my resume look like? That's not the best use of this opportunity. We have other resources for that, all the way to what is your career path and how do I get to that career path? What are the courses or soft skills that I should be acquiring, and how to best approach when there's a job opening at a company, how to apply and things like that, or how to network. But again, you can ask them any questions. These mentors are very happy to come back and give back to the community and to the student community, which they had been part one time, right? We organize other fun networking events. There's a scavenger hunt coming up soon in our college. So again, that's where you try to get to solve questions about the advisors and try to get to know them a little more. So networking in a fun environment. Accounting banquet is our formal, very formal dinner that we do with all the local and regional, including some national advisory board members, accounting firms, and students, faculty, and a lot of people participate in that. Same as FMA board, the finance advisory board, accounting advisory board member come to the classroom visit frequently, and they come to our NGA club. And they also help us with the curriculum, keeping it up to date with the industry trends. They tell us if there are any skill sets that is missing in the resume, if there is any new technology that we should be incorporating. In fact, some of them do teach classes for us as well. So you get the first-hand industry expert teaching a class to you in some cases. So here is, again, just a list of all the advisors that we have on the accounting advisory board. You can see they're all the way from local regional firms to the national accounting firm. All the C-level executive are part of this board. So that's about the accounting program. Very quickly, I just want to highlight one more thing about our college, that we have a $28 million expansion project going on. We are doubling the size of our footprint. And it's not going to be more classrooms and more offices and things like that, but more event space, team rooms for you to work with other students in the project, a lot of small, spaces for you to, so that you don't have to leave campus and go to someone's apartment to work on the project. Or if you want to just discuss something, research project or anything like that. So a lot of those things. There'll be a big auditorium for our speaker presentations. And then we have event space on the 4th floor where we can host our own events, including accounting banquet or speed networking event for finance and so on. So we are very excited about it. We have been talking about it for the last 10 years, and it is a reality. November 17th is the date they have given us that it will be ready. And we should have the certificate of occupancy on 1st January, if not sooner. So when you come here for fall, you will actually be walking around in this new space that we have. So we are very excited about that. Other details, we encourage students to do co-op and summer internship. It's not required for grad students, but if you do that, it is highly recommended, encouraged, and we have a strong team here on campus to help you navigate through that process. Julian Hanford and Mindy Blake, and they are designated people for accounting and finance, co-op and career services that you can, they post the jobs, they organize events, they do your resume review, they do mock interviews, and so on. So a lot of help in terms of finding a co-op of internship that you might be interested in. And here are the next steps that Matt, would you like to take over at this point and talk about it, or I can continue?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of the application process, and I do believe I saw a couple of students on here that may actually be already admitted, but for those that are still kind of going through the process, we do accept full or part-time for either program in any of our graduate programs. We do require an official transcript, personal statement, resume, and we do also require the GMAT or GRE for international students, or those students who have not completed a degree in the US. So just be mindful of that as well. And then with that would be IELTS and TOEFL. But again, if you've done a degree in the US, you don't have to do the IELTS or TOEFL. So that's really the process in terms of applying. It's pretty straightforward. We can certainly discuss options and what you're thinking about going forward. But at this point, oh, and let me just mention Peggy as well. So Peggy oversees our admissions committee. So she works directly with the program directors to review applications. And then she ultimately will oftentimes communicate directly with students regarding their admission and scholarship opportunities and things like that. So with that, what questions can we answer for you all? And again, feel free to unmute yourself or put your question in the chat.
Who's gonna break the ice? Patty, is that you? Okay, I was thinking about it. I got confused when I saw you here. So there's a question, GRE and GMAT optional for MS Finance? No, it is not. For international student, we do require GRE and GMAT unless you have a degree in the United States, undergrad degree in the United States.
I think the really important thing to understand with the exam itself is it can also lead to more scholarship. So if you perform quite well in the exam, you can secure a scholarship. Generally, that ranges 20 to 50% of tuition. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
For the MS accounting, can we do co-op within 1 year or after 1 year? So there are both possible. So the way we structure the program is you take 4 courses in fall, 4 in spring, and then 2 in summer. Sometimes students can do 4, 5, or 1. So when you're taking that 1 course during summer, that is the ideal time for people to do co-op. That you can do the co-op with that 1 course. And sometimes we do offer online courses so that you don't have to be on campus. After the program is completed, then it doesn't count as co-op. So then once you have graduated, it includes as your, that will be your OPT. So somewhat twisted answer, but yes, within 1 year is when you will be doing your co-op. Matt can add to that, yeah.
Yeah, Prakriti, and I apologize if I'm not saying that right, but I believe you're in the Miles pathway. So we're working on an option where you would do a sequence of 3 courses in fall or spring and summer, and then 1 course with the option to add the co-op. Because as an international student, you do have to have 2 semesters of study done before you can do a co-op or CPT. So, but yeah, that option is available. Nonetheless, it's there. So.
Okay, there's one question about as an undergraduate student not in a business major, are there any minimum skills and knowledge we would need to apply for MS Finance? Actually, we receive application from all kind of majors. So for example, pure math, for example, from the computing field, right? So in the first half year of the curriculum, we have some courses will help you build up your foundational knowledge for the finance field. So simply, my answer to this question is no, you don't require minimum skill or knowledge in finance, but we do have certain requirement about the, like a GPA, and if you are international student, we'll take a look at your quant score of your GRE and GMAT.
Yeah, the accounting 603 and finance 721 classes are both foundational in nature. So those will certainly help you for sure.
Yeah, and also usually we have very good teacher in these 2 courses. Yeah. They will take you and then they'll help you make sure you have a good transition. Yeah.
So I want to add on that. So sometimes people think of finance and accounting as math, and they get scared that you need really good math skill. It is not. It is, yes, a numbers game, but not to the extent of heavy math. Of course, if you have the math background, calculus and all that helps you in analyzing the data a little better, but you don't necessarily need the solid math background. If you can do algebra, you'll be good in most of the courses. Simple statistics, algebra, those are decent. And then you can learn more as you are in the program, you know, if we want to focus on some areas more. But yeah.
Yeah, if I may, I want to add, is our program really emphasizes application. It's not like theoretical focus. So that's the reason I agree with Dr. Jain. We don't really put a lot of emphasis in math, but we want you to have a algebra, at least algebra. You can play with number, get the information out of the data. That should be good enough. Yeah.
So Patty, which program are you interested in?
All of them.
Okay.
Any other questions? These are great questions, so certainly enjoy these. But yeah, any other questions that folks have?
So if no questions, I can highlight a couple more things about our college in general. So RIT is a big school. We have 17,000 students on campus plus 4,000 faculty. But our college is a small part of RIT. We have about 1,000 students, including both grad and undergrad, and about 75, 80 faculty, which is a great place. It gives you the benefit of both worlds. You have all the resources that you will find at a big university, all kind of clubs and activities and different things that you can do. Yet in the classroom, you're with a cohort of maximum 35 students for the grad level. And as you go to the upper level classes, sometimes even smaller. So the professors know you really well and they want you to succeed. They approachable, available, because we are not overwhelmed with 100 and 200 students. So we do have this personal touch in the classroom. Even we do our own grading. So we are not supposed to use students for grading unless it's a multiple choice question and things like that. So there's a lot of hand holding, if you must say, but not in the terms of coursework, but in terms of your success. That's what I would want to highlight. So we very collegial environment here. We all love working here. I can say that for me, Hao and Matt, I think. It's a great environment for, you know, and now with the new space, so much more lively, and we'll have our own deli, and then we can, you know, see each other more often. You know, so we we are here, and we know our students and we want them to succeed.
All right, anything else from folks? And thank you, Archana and Hal. That was great insights into the program. And this is exactly what we are looking for with respect to these sessions, right? We want to get deeper into the content and provide you all with a sound understanding of what each of the individual programs look like. So yeah, so there was great insights there. All right, well, so we'll wrap the kind of formal portion here, and I'll stop the recording here in just a second, but I'll stick around if there are other questions. But thank you all again. So I will send this out in case you want to go back and view it again, but we'll send it to all the registrations and registrants. But certainly, again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions going forward. But thank you again, folks. Have a good day or evening, wherever you might be.